מדלג על ההרים, מקפץ על הגבעות. השמיעיני את קולך, כי קולך ערב ילי ילי. השמיעיני את קולך, כי קולך ערב ילי ילי. כל דודי הנה זה בא, דודי הנה זה בא. מדלג על ההרים, מקפץ על הגבעות. יאי יאללה 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 יאללה. ay ay la 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 Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I can see a few people who are there on Facebook. So Shabbat Shalom, Sandra and Paul. That's Sandra number 1. I'm Sandra number 2. Daniel, Deborah, Sybil, Hyman family, Philip, Jill, Norman and Joyce, Louisa, Shabbat Shalom, Karen, Shabbat Shalom, the whole Levine family almost there. Liz, Kelly, Shabbat Shalom, and we wish you all, we wish you a slightly belated happy birthday. So I'm going to light the candles right now. So I'm just going to swivel my camera sufficiently that you can see the candles. And we'll see how successful my matches are. That wasn't good at all. They both went straight out. Okay. I have no idea why that happened, so I'm going to have to try that again. I think this is what happens when you buy your candles in North London instead of from the KLS shop. So I'm try not to spend too long lighting these candles. Right, that one's looking encouraging. Not something you can practice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlek ner Shabbat.
Amen.
So if we look at page 75, the Sabbath has descended. to enfold us in its mantle of peace. It brings to us the precious gift of time, time to embrace family and friends, to reflect more deeply on the meaning and purpose of our lives, and to worship in the beauty of holiness. May our Sabbaths always be sanctuaries of love and devotion, bringing contentment to our hearts, happiness to our homes, and blessing to our people. Okay. So, you may have seen, if you were looking at the KLS Facebook group, that we did supply, sorry, I disappeared there for a second. We did supply a handout with some of the readings that we're going to be using tonight. You don't need them unless you particularly like to follow the text, but it's there for you to download if you want. And we'll be using the Siddur. In addition to the normal prayers, we'll be also looking at some readings that are on page 329 to 331. So if you want to put a little bookmark in there, that might be handy as well. So earlier this week was the festival of Shavuot, and we wanted to retain the mood of Shavuot for a few more days and incorporated it into tonight's service. In the Jewish calendar, Shavuot is equal to Pesach and Sukkot. They're considered a group of 3 festivals. But Shavuot tends to get less attention. I think this is because it doesn't have a single image like the Pesach Seder or building a sukkah at Sukkot. In ancient times, Shavuot was the summer harvest festival, and farmers would bring their first fruits of the season to the temple in Jerusalem. But it became a festival to celebrate the giving of the Torah to the Jewish people on Mount Sinai. And what could be more important than that? It has 4 main traditions, this festival. It is traditional to study Torah all night. The reason for that is clear because it's about the giving of the Torah, and some of you may have logged on a bit to the LJ all-night study session earlier in the week. It's also traditional to decorate synagogues with flowers. And you can see some of us have tried to provide some flowers on our screens for you tonight. This flower tradition seems to come from a midrash, a story, which says that Mount Sinai burst into bloom just before the Torah was given. It's also traditional to read the book of Ruth, a lovely story about a non-Jewish woman who retained the Jewish faith and her loyalty to her mother-in-law after her Jewish husband died. And it's traditional to eat dairy foods, such as cheesecake. Amongst the many explanations for eating dairy foods are 2 beautiful ideas linking milk to the Torah. First, the Torah nourishes our people like milk nourishes a baby. And second, milk is symbolic of the infancy of the Jewish people and our birth as a nation at Mount Sinai. Over to Rebekka.
Thank you, Sandra. So we were very much focusing on the ideas around Shavuot as the culmination of the exodus from Egypt, the journey of liberation from slavery to freedom, and the freedom for what? Freedom to receive Torah and its teachings. In that service, we're going to continue with that, with the gratitude through the songs that we've chosen, and also through moments of silent meditation, shared silent meditation. And these will be in the form of short readings that we're going to share together on the screen. So now we continue our service on page 76 with Shalom Aleichem. Please turn to page 76. Shalom Aleichem. השרת, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Okay, and we continue now with the reading from page 329 in the Siddur. If you have the reading, the Siddur, then that would be wonderful. We turn to page 329. When God gave the Torah, no bird chirped, no fowl flew, no ox bellowed. The Ophanim did not take wing. The Seraphim did not proclaim God's holiness. The sea did not stir. No creature uttered a sound. The world was silent and still. We continue with a song from the choir.
Torah ולא ניכלם, ולא ניכשל, לעולם ועד.
והעלינו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבנו לאהבה וליראה את שמך.
Please stand for the Balchu on page 92. Et Adonai Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Va'ed.
We're now at the top of page 93. I can't see everybody who's joined us, but I saw Marta. Welcome, Marta. Lovely to have you with us. And Julie, lovely to have you with us. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and you separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv, Aravim.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochveinu u'vkumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki chem chayeinu, v'yorech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, v'ahavatecha al tasu mimenu le'olamim, baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Israel. Top of page 94. Shema.
Shema
Israel.
Yisrael
Adonai.
Adonai
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu
Adonai Echad.
Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם. בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם בארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, eternal God, eternal one are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. And it has been said, the Eternal One has delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel.
Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, L'Shalom, V'Hamidenu, Malkeinu, L'Chaim, V'Ufarosh Aleinu, Sukkot Sholomecha, V'Taktenenu B'Eitzah Tova Milfanecha V'Hoshienu L'man Shamecha.
Shield us from sickness and war, from famine and distress, and keep us from wrongdoing. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are our guardian and deliverer, a gracious and merciful God. Guard our going out and our coming in, that now and always we may have life and peace. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol yoshvei tevel. We praise you, O God. May your sheltering peace descend on us and all who dwell on earth.
On the top of page 97. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagita hilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע.
Mashiv haruach umorid hageshem, mazriach hashemesh, umorid hatal. Mechalkel chayim b'chesed, mechayei metim b'rachamim rabim, somech noflim v'rofech olim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato l'shenei afar, ichamocha ba'al gevurot, umidom melach, melech meimit umakayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua. Ne'aman ata l'chachiyot meitim, Baruch ata Adonai, l'chayei hametim. You are holy, awesome is your name. We have no God but you. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God.
We thank you, O God, for this Sabbath day, which calls us to a closer communion with you. Though you are near to us at all times, you reveal your presence most clearly when we direct our thoughts towards you in worship and meditation. In you, O God, our humanity is exalted. You are our life. From you come its greatness, its power, its beauty. Establish in us, we humbly pray, a devotion to you that shall be firm in all the circumstances of life. May this service renew in our hearts the sense of your presence and bring us peace.
Sinai was only the beginning. The Torah has never ceased to grow. In every age it has been refined and enlarged. It has a permanent core and an expanding periphery. It expands as the horizon of human vision grows. As plants are fruitful and multiply, so the words of Torah are fruitful and multiply.
Modim, modim, modim anachnu lach. Modim, modim, modim anachnu lach.
Going to be reading from the bottom half of page 331. Feel free to join in wherever you are. The Torah is God's choicest gift to the house of Israel.
Israel without Torah is like a body without a soul.
Like water, it refreshes and purifies.
Like wine, it gladdens the heart.
When Torah entered the world, freedom entered the world.
The whole Torah exists only to establish peace.
Its first and last aim is to teach love and kindness.
What is hateful to you, do not do to others.
That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn.
And back on page 101. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lachol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lachol hashalom. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. וצוף בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל ואת כל העמים בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך tasim leolam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Baruch atah Adonai oseh hashalom. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. And we continue with private prayer.
May it be your will, eternal God, that love and harmony, peace and friendship shall dwell among us. Help us to face the future with confidence and hope. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
So we begin our choral songs with two songs from the Song of Songs, which is conceived of as follows. In the Mishnah Yadayim, Rabbi Akiva says the entire universe is not as worthy as the day on which the Song of Songs was given to Israel. For all our writings are holy, but the Song of Songs is the Holy of Holies. Why does he say this? Perhaps because the poetry of the Song of Songs through the voice of the beloved, anticipates the fulfillment of God's promise to the Israelites through the giving of Torah at Sinai.
As lover to beloved, God calls to us, as the rain to the grass of springtime.
Here am I, O Holy One, lonely for your presence. Your presence which fills creation fills me with hope of tenderness again, and of our sharing of renewed openness to love renewed.
Hark the voice of my beloved. Behold, he comes leaping over the mountains, bounding over the hills. Let me see your face. Let me hear your voice, for your voice is sweet.
Nitzanim niru ba'aretz. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come. And the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The fig tree sweetens her green figs, and the vines are in blossom, giving their fragrance.
Nitzanim niru ba'aretz. Eit zamir higia, eit zamir. Nitzanim niru ba'aretz. Eit zamir higia, eit zamir. Ki hine stav halach lo. Hakfani semadan natnu re'am. Ki hine stav halach lo. Hakfani semadan natnu re'am.
The power of love. To love renewed, here am I. Here am I, O one whom I am to love with all my heart, ready to listen again to our song.
To our song of songs, open my sense. Open my senses to love blossoming. To love blossoming, let me hear your voice.
Let me hear your voice again, saying, arise, my beloved, my fair one. My fair one, let me behold your watching presence behind the lattice of the world.
Our next song is Kumilach. Kumilach, rise up. Rayati, my love. Yafati, my love, my beautiful one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, the rains are over and gone.
The next reading is from the writings of the late Lord Saxe. When William Tyndale in 1535 sat down to write the first full English translation of the Hebrew Bible, he had to coin a new word, loving kindness, to translate the Hebrew word chesed, which is the very essence of the book of Ruth, traditionally read at Shavuot. And it is that chesed that also epitomizes the relationship of Israel and God that happened on Shavuot at Mount Sinai. What happened on that extraordinary moment when God made a covenant with a people was described by the prophet Hosea as a betrothal. I betroth you to me forever. I betroth you to me in justice and righteousness and kindness and compassion. That is faith as marriage, love as loyalty. And that is what Shavuot is all about. In a world where religion is too often associated with extremism, with harshness, with prejudice, and with violence, we would do well to remember that essential message of Shavuot, epitomized in the book of Ruth, that at the heart of faith is that faithfulness that binds us to one another in the love that is loyalty and the loyalty that is love. Just before we go on to another song, I just wanted to say hello to some people who I haven't said Shabbat Shalom to, because I can see also Mara, Michelle, Russell, Carol, lovely to see you, Carol, Emmy, lovely to see you, and thank you, Sybil, for your nice words about the service. And I just want to say about my colleagues here have worked very hard, because all the recordings that you can hear are us, the choir, singing. And because of the whole COVID and social distancing, we have all had to record our voices individually. And then Rebekka Wedell has edited them together, and Rebekka Singerman Knight has put the images to accompany. So it has been a labor of love, and they've been brilliant. So okay, so now we're going on to another song, which is actually the story of the book of Ruth, and of in a song, in a poem that was written by Rabbi John Rayner, no longer with us, but a well-known liberal rabbi, and set to a traditional Jewish tune.
Naomi asked me not to leave your side, to return to our land. Where you go, I will go. Where you make your dwelling, God's protecting care. All their sadness, all their dreams, let me with your people share.
Let me send to your people near and far, be as Ruth implies a friend. For your faith is my faith, and your prayer my prayer, and my loyal to run.
From my womb shall David come, therefore never let me cease. Israel's messianic hope, all men search for lasting peace.
All people search for lasting peace.
We rise for the Aleinu on page 520. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגורלנו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. And over on page 521, trusting in you, eternal God, we hope soon to behold the glory of your might, when false gods will vanish from our hearts and idolatry cease forever. Help us to perfect the world by bringing it under your unchallenged rule, when all will invoke your name, relinquish evil, and turn to you alone. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We're on page 523. As we get to the point where we say the Kaddish, I'm sure we'll all be remembering all the people who died in conflict this week. KLS, we're also thinking about our member, Tony Spevak, who sadly passed away. And on the yacht site list, I have Dinah Grossman, mother of Anne Siegel, Graciela Zimmerman, aunt of Nora, Katie Wolf, mother of Mark, wish you long life, Mark, I can see you're here, Walter Tyndall, father of Beryl Smith, and Bella Berman, mother of Richard Berman. Life is finite. Like a candle, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. Then it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. Yet we do not despair, for we know that we are more than a flickering flame. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal circle of darkness and light, of death and life. As in our hearts we name our loved ones, we pray that the divine presence will comfort us and all who mourn. Do stand for the Kaddish if you're able. And forgive me that it's not convenient for me to do that where I'm sitting. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach yerotei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach, le'olam ul'almei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemeda kudasha brechu. La'elon min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Tamiram ba'alma v'imru amen. V'heshlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. V'sei shalom b'mromav. V'ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'al kol b'nei Adam. V'imru amen. I don't think there's any announcements. They're all in the bulletin.
Okay, so we finish then with Adon Olam on page 525. Adon Olam Hashem Malach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra La'et Nasa V'refso kol Azai Melech Shamo Nikra Azai Melech Shamo Nikra.
Yacharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nara v'hu haya v'hu haveh v'hu yiyeh b'tifara v'hu yiyeh b'tifara.
V'hu ehad v'yen sheni laham shelo lahachbiro v'li reshit v'li tachlit v'lo haoz v'hamizra v'lo haoz v'hamizra.
Vahu Eli V'chaiko Ali V'tzur Chevli B'eitzara Vahu Nisi Umanosli Manat Kosi B'yom Ekra Manat Kosi B'yom Ekra
B'yado Avkid Ruchi B'eit Ishan V'ayira B'him Ruchi Kaviati Adonai Li V'lo Ira Adonai Li V'lo Ira.
Okay, so now we are going over to Kiddush. So hopefully you've got a glass of wine or something. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן.
Chaim.
And
I'd just like to thank the choir members for all the hard work. As Sandra says, there's a lot of hard work in putting together these recordings and working to tight deadlines. Thank you very much, all of you. I think it was it's been a lovely outcome. Thanks very much. Thank you, Sandra, for sharing.
We've got one more bracha to do for the bread.
That's fine.
So we should just show you my challah. I left it in the oven about 1 minute too long, and it's just a teeny bit more bronze than it's like been out in the sun without any sun cream. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom, everybody, and have a good week. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.